Welcome everyone to another episode of the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. My name is DK, my co-host is Bricky. He knows all the Warhammer stuff, and he's gonna teach us all the Warhammer 40k stuff. I guess I should have, anyway. So, if you enjoyed today's podcast, head over to patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. We have a lot of great things for you there. Stuff like HD posters, access to the Discord, bloopers if they happen. The HD poster is the Bone Zone, which is a very nice looking Necron female. They do exist. It's canon. Necron females are canon. So patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. Bricky, book club, merch, any other happenings?
Book club, read yourself Brutal Cunning. That'll probably be out at the end of this week, give or take. Maybe early next week, regardless. I've started it myself. I wanted to read it all at the end. It's pretty good. Pretty good so far. Love the accents. Always good about the Mets, baby. But you know what? It's also, it's about the merch, baby. It's about the merch. Orchidate.com. Check out the description. We got hoodies. We got Adeptus Ridiculous t-shirts in black and white. What's that? A legally distinct Mechanicus shirt with legally distinct binary that might mean something. Put it in a binary code. Find out yourself. And an orc, I'm a tank shirt and a hoodie. Oh my God, say it ain't so, DK. Say it ain't so. It ain't so. Where's the beef? That's an old meme that even I get.
That is an old meme. You're such a boomer making that reference. Whoa, what are you, like 80 years old?
I'm going to drink my prune juice. It'll make me reroll ones.
Oh, all right. Okay, so we're boomers. We're boomers.
That's a joke me and the Dice Check boys always make, where it's like, damn, girl, is that ass reroll ones?
Okay.
It's good, don't worry about it, it works out.
It sounded funny. It gave me a chuckle, even though I don't quite know about re-rolling ones. It's fine.
In 40k, very often you'll get rules that let you re-roll your ones.
Okay.
Like let's say you got a captain of a Space Marine Legion, and if he's next to like a squad, the squad gets to re-roll ones when they shoot because like they have a leader there.
Oh, that's very handy.
Yes, there's a lot of things like that. And so, damn DK, does that ass re-roll ones?
Okay. Thank you for explaining the joke. Made it less funny the second time, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but then it's just like when we started doing Among Us references. It was never funny, but if you force it hard enough, it becomes funny. Normally it doesn't, but you go into popularity, humor, too much humor on Facebook gets annoying, and then humor again for irony's sake. We're in irony's sake. We've gone too far.
The word sus has been ruined forever.
Sus.
Yeah. They used to say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna suss them out." Suss that person out, and it used to be very, not used that often. Now everybody's just fucking. You go to Wendy's and like, "Oh, that person's sus behind the counter." It's like, it's making a fucking hamburger. Dude, who cares?
Who the fuck is going to Wendy's and going to the counter and being like, the chef is sus? Who the fuck?
I bet you people in California, I bet you people in California and Florida do it.
All right, DK, I'm gonna give you a quote, and I want you to see if you can decipher what our topic will be about via this quote.
Okay.
All right. As a child on Gehenna, I remember the stories of the White Maidens, terrifying ghosts that would come in the night to steal away the witchborn and children who had done terrible wrongs. It was said that they could find the wicked no matter how deep in the hive they sank or to what forgotten spire they climbed. As I grew, I came to believe such things were no mere superstition. But now that I am an officer of the Great Crusade, bloodied upon the battlefields of a score of worlds, I have come to find that my childhood fears were true and quite valid. The Memoirs of the Lieutenant Colonel Gundren Sue, 227th Gehenna Rifles.
Oh, and I'm supposed to figure out what we're talking about off of that, huh?
There's a couple little tidbit clues in there.
Now, if you're not savvy to 40k, would you be able to justifiably pick out what this was supposed to be?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, fuck me, dude. Like,
DK, don't pretend like you're not savvy. You know probably more than some of our audience at this point.
Well, you have done quite a good job with the podcast and teaching me. Maybe it's, I mean, I heard stuff about hives and ghosts. Like, a part of me almost wants to say it's some sort of, like, specific tyrannid?
Stories of white maidens to steal away the witchborn and children.
Is it a sisters thing?
Yes. Close.
Is it a specific chapter of sisters?
All right, I'm gonna give up at this point. Well, for one,
fuck.
For one, DK, the chapters are Space Marines. Sisters have honors.
Oh.
And no, we're doing the Sisters of Silence.
Ooh, okay. They're the ones that make everybody uneasy, right? Or they make people with psykers
Blank
or
genes.
uneasy around them.
Blank genes, pariahs, etc. The Sisters of Silence. The unfortunate, like, redheaded stepchild of GW's work, because they're really cool and interesting, and they get no love anywhere and ever.
Oh.
And it makes me sad.
There's a lot of stuff like that just is very cool. Everyone loves it, and it gets just no love, like the Eldar. But
well, they don't get any mini love.
That's
the
true.
Sisters of Silence, like, so we talked about the Sisters of Silence a bit ago in our Custodians episode, because they work with the Custodians very, very often. So, of course, they're actually in the Codex at the current moment. You can run Sisters with them. And I believe that they are actually getting, I mean, they're going to be, like, folded in with the new Custodian Codex, which is actually the next Codex coming out.
Oh, shit, nice.
Custodians and Gene Stealer cults is next. And then in January is Tau.
Ooh, let's go Tau. The 8. Come on, make the Farsight Enclave great. I almost said again. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't go down that.
Make Tau great again.
Yeah.
Actually,
like,
don't though, because when Tau are good, it's a very bad time. But
just
anyway,
the Farsight Enclave. I just want the 8 to be good, and I want everybody to roll the anime weeb trope.
I'm okay with that.
I want everyone to run the 7 Samurai Tau, or the 8 Samurai Tau, as it were.
I guess the 7 Samurai isn't really a weeb trope. It's just like a, you know what? This is Tau. We're talking about Sisters. Sisters of Silence. Yes, this is a faction. It's like a semi-faction. That really doesn't get any love from GW in terms of minis. Their minis are fine, but they're a bit old. They don't have any special characters except for a duo character with another custodian based on a book. They're really, and they're honestly not that great right now in terms of characters, but I like to run them because I think they're fluffy and interesting and a lot of fun.
They're fluffy. I just imagined, like, just this really, like, this sister that's in, like, a big, oh no, I was about to say fursuit, but, like,
A big coat.
Yeah, big coat, big fluffy coat, because the picture that Shai has, like, that one pauldron with all, like, the fur on it, and I was like, aw, she just wants a hug. She's so fluffy.
Actually, you'd be surprised that she probably does want a hug. I think the Sisters of Silence are a little depressed. But anyway, so let's talk about them. So the Sisters of Silence are working under how's this pronounced? The Astra Telepathica. They're a branch of it in particular. And the thing about them is that they're really secretive. They're like some of the most secretive, but I think I say that about like everything. The Grey Knights are super secretive. The Dark Angels act secretive. Like, but this one, there's quite a way to kind of keep them quiet. Because the Sisters of Silence are not really a known force, so to speak. Like, I don't think the public knows they exist. Where
the public doesn't know a lot exists, to be fair, right? They're not really kept in the loop. They don't know Tyranids exist, right?
And
they never see Space Marines ever, so.
But they know that the Space Marines exist. It's the Emperor's Holy Warriors. I think they know that Custodians exist. because they're like it's the main guard of the emperor, but it's
Yeah.
just they'll almost never see one,
Right.
because they're only on Terra and all that. But we don't know how many Sisters of Silence there are. Like we don't have a number or anything. Like they are very, very quiet. And honestly, at the same time, they might actually just see the Sister of Silence and probably mistake them for a Sister of Battle, because they're like,
that's true.
lady
they
with
wouldn't
bolter.
know.
Yeah.
Although, so a Sister of Silence makes, is it just psykers that are uneasy around a blank?
Yeah, it's everybody, but psykers get it worse. They get it like 10
Okay.
times.
So if a normal person was in, say, the presence of a Sister of Silence, they would probably know because they'd feel really uneasy and like weird and wonky.
But they don't know what a blank is. They don't know what like a pariah is.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
A
Gotcha.
soulless being. They don't really understand that. It's not public knowledge.
Right,
Um,
right.
But for these girls, like we don't know how many there are. We don't know where they're operating. They're very secretive with their base on Terra and also on the moon. And the whole concept of them, the Silence is as a multifaceted concept. Both because the Silence is the thought process of the lack of a soul, because they're all blanks, untouchables, pariahs, whatever the word you want to use. They are a body without a soul in the warp. And so the whole concept of like the fundamental wrongness of their body, like being near them, it's like looking at a painting that is just, it's like Uncanny Valley. It's just not, it's like looking at Hitler's paintings, you know? It's just because he was really bad at drawing faces and painting like people. And it's just like, that's just, it's not right. Something about it is weird. I don't like being near it. It feels off. It's like having trypophobia and seeing like the holes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't know why that's bugging me, but I can't look at it.
Yeah, it's like if you have that and you look at like a honeycomb or like a beehive with all the little holes and all the little larvae wiggling around, and that's unsettling even if you don't have it, actually.
Yeah. It's really nasty, but it creates that feeling. Now the amount of like lack of soul can actually increase and decrease. There are some sisters that have a stronger like anathema feeling to them. Particularly one of the head is a girl named Janicia Kroll. Janicia Kroll is was known as the Soulless Queen or the Witch Bane. She was the
cool name.
The Soulless Queen is fucking dope.
That's so metal.
She was the knight. What's it called? The knight commander or the vigil commander. She was the big main Sister of Silence, and apparently her anathema was like laughably powerful. Like she would stroll through a room, and then like Space Marines would have to look away. Like obviously they wouldn't make much of a tell, but they would just kind of like look like turn their head,
just kind of tilt a little bit. Yeah.
Because
Shai posted a picture of her, and she definitely looks like she would step on me.
She'd step on it. If you were a witch, she'd step on you with a sword.
She like if you were a Space Marine, she'd probably step on you, and you'd be like, "Thank you, come again."
Come, thank you, come again.
Yeah,
it's like Apu and fucking Simpsons,
right? Yeah, he's come back anytime. I'll be here. How do you get more soulless exactly? You said like there were varying degrees. It's like if you do enough evil, do you lose more soul points? And if you're like more friendly, do your soul points go up? And you how did that work?
It's a mutation for one. You have this it's a mutation, and I guess it's just the strength of the mutation.
Okay.
Because
it's not actually soullessness. It's just the mutation that makes you weird.
Yeah, it's like you don't necessarily. I guess I don't know if you necessarily literally don't have a soul, but because the warp is a layer upon the real world, right? They're two, like they're layered on top of each other in terms of like a dimensional thing. It's like when you walk around, you're parting the waves of the warp around you. It's like a black hole where light literally can't travel in, so it creates like an accretion disk circling around it.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like that, where it's like you just don't get touched. You're like a magnet, and everything around you is the same pole, and it's just kind of forcing it away.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So if you're stronger, the more you force this away, and the more unsettling it feels.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's very difficult to truly get down on that kind of thing and truly understand it. But as for the Sisters of Silence, they obviously use this, are taken back to Terra, trained everything, and their whole point is to be warrior investigators and like hunters. They go out and they seek out and apprehend psykers from the human population and return them back to the Divisio Astra Telepathica for some kind of assessment and disposition. If I'm not mistaken on this one, they're actually some of the main crew and man the black ships.
I do recall that. Yeah, something about black ships, and it's full of sisters that are bringing psykers back somewhere. And did we talk about that in the Schola Progenium episode, where like sisters have to bring something to the Schola in the black ships?
Maybe, because the black ships, they go around and they hunt psykers. That's the concept of the witch, or the maidens, soulless maidens in the night taking your kids. Yeah. Because you have a psychically whatever kid, and they just show up and they just take them in the night, and they go away.
You're not gonna stop them. Good luck.
Yeah, good fucking luck trying to stop them. They're incredibly well trained. And not only that, but then you've got their damn like anti-psychic field.
How often do they, I guess I want to say, fail? Because if a psyker's around a blank, they want to like gouge their eyes out and kill themselves. So how often does like a Sister of Silence go up to a psyker and be like, "You're coming with me," and the psyker just like and just stabs themselves or something?
I think often they don't do that because they normally get them young.
Okay, so they're still like kids, and okay,
to an extent, but they're also completely immune to psychic assault. That's the cool thing about them, is that like they are nigh unaffected by any psychic power. Even in the tabletop game, you cannot hit them with psychic powers. They are affected by zero. It is literally impossible.
Oh, right, but I meant like how often does like their prisoner just like flip out that they're around a blank and just freak out and jump out a window or something?
Oh, well, they stopped that. They have like special areas of the ship that makes it like proof, or makes it like not as powerful or painful, and it depends on what they want them for. You know, like sometimes they seek out witches and their job is to kill them. Like there's a psyker on this planet, he's getting a little too strong, we're gonna murder him. And this, this psyker is like, I'm mad with power, I'm the wizard of whatever, and he starts like shooting lightning bolts, and they just don't get hit by it. Like it fizzles out before they get touched, because these girls are so the antithesis against the warp. Like all their powers mean nothing, so then they're being forced to deal with them in like hand-to-hand combat or guns, and they're gonna lose that fight
10 times out of 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a bunch of badasses. God, all the pictures of them look so cool too.
Yeah, some of the pictures are pretty old because the new artwork isn't well, they just haven't had much new artwork because, like I said, GW doesn't really do much with them. But often they work very heavily with custodians, because custodians are neither blanks nor psykers.
Oh, yeah.
And because of that, they kind of have like an overall weakness against things like demons, for example, or psykers and sorcerers. So actually, when Magnus did his oopsie and Kool-Aid Man's fucking the Emperor's psychic barrier and let a whole bunch of demons into the fucking throne room, a whole lot of Sisters of Silence, including Janicia Kroll, were used to fend off that engagement and that incursion.
I was gonna say, sisters must be pretty good to fight against like chaos and warp shit, right? Since they're blanks, I guess.
They become very powerful. All the fancy random demon bullshit doesn't really work. I mean, a big demon will still squish you, but
Oh yeah.
smaller demons are like, oh, get it away, get it away.
Yeah. What happens when a Sister of Silence dies? Like their soul doesn't go to the warp because that's not really their thing because of their mutation, right?
I don't know if they do or don't have souls. I like they're considered soulless because of their weird aura around the warp, but I actually don't know if they legitimately do not have a soul.
And where would they go? Like what chaos god would they feed?
You're asking the wrong questions. I have no idea. I don't think anyone knows. This is not only is the idea of a blank secretive, but it's not been expanded upon very much at all.
Okay. If you had to make an educated guess as our fearless leader in 40K ridiculous lore, what would happen when a blank died?
I would think very little. I would think that if a psyker dying was a bucket and a person dying was a cup, they're a drop.
Ah, okay.
That's
so not
my
a whole lot. Not a whole
guess.
lot of disturbances. They just fizzle out, and that's that.
That's my educated guess.
Okay. Good. Glad to hear it.
I did my best.
It's now canon, and people are going to actually you in the comments. Good job.
Oh my god. So the second part of the Sisters of Silence is the fact that the silence part is referring to the blankness of them, right? The soulless idea.
Yeah.
They also don't speak.
Oh, they're literally silent.
They are mute. They take a vow of silence. They actually can speak. That's the thing is that they don't like cut out their tongue or remove their vocal box or anything like that. They take a vow of tranquility. The concept is that at the end of their training, they have this idea of like a vow of silence, because then not even in pain, if they're in pain, if they're like getting stabbed, they won't make any noise. Like, that's the concept, is that under duress of pain, they will be stoic and not speak. Under impact of blade or bolt, they will show their resolve and not speak. No secret will ever be spoken. No torture can end up like revealing secrets or anything like they are unbreakable in that sense. So it's their vow of silence.
So you gotta be hardcore to be a Sister of Silence. Like not any like Joe Schmo can be a sister. Like that's hard.
It's pretty crazy. That's actually part of the reason why they shave their hair, is for the vow of tranquility, the same thing. Minus of course the top knot on the top.
What does shaving your head have to do with that though?
The fuck, I don't know.
Okay.
Because
I was gonna say you can be silent with hair.
Yeah, it might be like the monk thing. Yeah, like shave head for stoicism and tranquility.
But then why do you keep the top knot?
I don't fucking know, DK.
Okay,
GW
I'm sorry.
hasn't described it for me.
I'm very inquisitive today. I'm sorry.
Inquisitor, get this man.
Yeah, right there, Inquisitor. That man. He won't tell me why they have a top knot and shave the rest of their head.
They also have like the fucking tattoo on their head too, that's like a symbol of service to the emperor and that kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
That's the golden throne. That one makes more sense. But they often communicate. They have their own variation of sign language, and so they can sometimes even like do their sign language at such a speed that it's outputted via like a Vox signal in order to communicate.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they have to communicate with each other via like radio.
Wait, so you're telling me they do hand signs over Vox?
They do hand signs, and the Vox registers it, picks it up, and sends it as like a signal.
Okay. I thought you were like, oh yeah, they're voxing so fast that it's going through the Voxcaster and they're picking up the sound of it. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Okay, gotcha.
They have a very fancy, extremely high-end like sign language entirely just for them. This was something be really cool if some people could find a way to create like a variation of said sign language, because the sign language is its own thing for the sisters and only they understand it and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It allows them to be very, obviously, to work together in a combat scenario, but it also, lets them communicate.
Yeah. Oh, those half masks that they wear look really cool, where it's just like from, say, the nose down is like that gold mask. Should I
They're
just
like
post a
grill.
picture of it? Yeah, those look real. That's really cool. Look, I love their armor.
It's actually super dope. I think the sisters have some of the better armor, and they work great as a side section to the custodians, because the custodians are like 9 feet tall in this enormous gold, and these girls are probably like 6 feet or so. They're pretty like normal. I mean, they're tall, but they're normal.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting because they're like a well-oiled machine. The two of them, they're very, very one with the other, because they're needed for different scenarios.
Yeah. Also, look at that sword that she's wielding in that top picture. That thing is legitimately bigger, or it's taller than a sister. That's so anime, dude.
The swords are very big.
Yeah. Cloud.
So I posted a thing about the armor. It's like Vritine armor is a special power armor worn by Sister Silence. When a sister aspirant takes her final oath of duty and says the last word she will ever utter aloud in her lifetime, she is given her panoply of war, the armor, literally the armor of the oath. It is a sub-pattern of technologically advanced battle gear which shares design elements with both the power armor of the Legiones Astartes and the silicate mesh of selenite void mail. Though unlike either of those famed armors, it is not, at least without additional gearing, fully environmentally sealed or designed for extended operations. And the actual the sword is the Executioner Great Blade, which is the primary melee weapon, and it's used as the idea for guardians of the tithe of Psykerborn, which is feed them to the Emperor, witch seekers, massive executors that often do the usual style of like the beheading and then setting them aflame, because these are witch seekers.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up. So you're telling me when the sisters get their power armor, do they get one last word before they put the armor on?
They utter their final oath, basically. And then I don't know what it is.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be hilarious if like one of the sisters, they're like, oh yeah, what you get one last word, what is it? And she's like, yeet. And armor on.
Poggers.
This is all very pogger, sisters. Shut her up! Just put the damn helmet on her!
All right,
it's enough!
Right. Bent over, you're getting the Executioner Great Blade.
Yeah. I just find it hilarious that some of them would be like meme lords and just say something really dumb as their final word and have it recorded.
I can see that. Actually, if you thought that the Janicia Kroll had a really cool thing, her idea of like the Knight Commander, there's also a title for the sisters called the Mistress of the Black Ships, which is fucking dope to me.
Again, very metal. Very metal.
Oh, Shy sent a quote thinking I didn't already have that ready on my Google Doc. I got this.
Oh,
quote.
Wow.
We are mute, but not without power. We are silent, but not without resolve. We are untouchable, but not without courage. We are sisters and have but one father. We are seekers, and we shall find our prey. We are warriors, and woe to those we oppose. The Emperor's mark is on our brow. All who deal with the warp must beware. His judgment and vengeance is ours to deliver. The motto of the Sisters of Silence.
God. The Sisters of Silence are so fucking metal, dude. Oh my god.
And they have literally one kit. They have one kit. It comes with 5 models, and the only difference is the weapon they carry. Bolter, flamer, or sword. That is
they've never even made like a conversion kit that lets you make a normal sister into like a Sister of Silence if you wanted?
Nope. They have a Sister of Silence kit, like it's just the one kit. But yeah, and the minis are okay. You can give them a rhino.
For older minis, those don't look too bad. Those don't look as bad as like older like
the old guard stuff.
Yeah. Those are really bad. Those the ones that look like their face was melted. Yeah.
Yeah, the only other one is that duo one that I mentioned earlier. That's actually from a book.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
That
I
one
like
looks
the
good.
Sister
That one's
Sentinel
like
one,
a
yeah.
year old. Except for the fact that the custodian's got a big ass head.
Yeah, his head looks very weird. It's very strange. Yeah.
It's like
Put the helmet on.
you've literally seen every single Sister of Silence mini. That's all of them. That's it.
Oh, really? God, they sound so cool. Why? Make more of them.
I do not know. I do not know why they don't make more. If there was a time, it would be during the Custodian Codex, because they literally have a Sister of Silence on the cover, front and center, on the new Codex. It's actually really dope. I need to find the goddamn actually you get
cool.
You get 5 Sisters of Silence actually in the next, what's it called? In the new box that they're making.
Oh, you actually get, but they're the old sisters? Silence?
Well, yeah, they're not anything new in terms of minis. I would agree.
Yeah. God, their armor looks so cool. They're very dope. I'm sure I will repeat this many a times as I already have, but they're so fucking metal, dude.
They are super metal. They are really, really cool looking. And let me find the. There we go. Yeah, like this is the new cover art for the Custodians, and like she's right down there, bottom left, bada bing, Sister of Silence.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah. I also love that their armor makes sense. Right? They're like Sister of Silence. They've got like the sort of mouth area completely covered. It's so cool. I love it.
It has good visual aesthetic with it. I mean, like, yeah, they got like big ass boob armor and stuff, but I mean, shit, it's fucking Blood Angels have giant pecs and abs. Like, it doesn't matter. It's very it goes with the aesthetic, the concept.
Yeah. Well, the armor also makes sense because at least it's not like if you ever play like a JRPG or something, the big thing is like the poor female warriors always get the most pointless armor. They get like metal bikinis, and it's like, what the fuck is that gonna protect? Right? Like your entire like abdomen and stomach and your legs are completely exposed, but you've got like this bikini of metal. It's like, what the fuck is that gonna do? Right? So at least they have like full coverage.
They have armor.
Yeah, it's
not
actual
covered
armor
is, like,
that will protect you. Yeah.
Yeah, besides like their head, like their noggin, which I guess means it doesn't protect that great. But it's at least it's plate. It's fucking plate armor. It's not a cloth, you know?
Yeah. It's not a metal bikini.
They're really neat. And actually, it's a little bit sad because apparently the Sisters of Silence have this, like... When I say this, it's going to sound like a lesbian pillow fight situation.
Okay, I'm ready.
And I'm sorry about that, but...
Okay.
Because of their nature of their gene... So these sisters are incredibly secretive. Sure. They have the pariah untouchable gene, and they spend mainly all their time together, and the only people who they can understand are each other, because they can't speak. They only do the sign language, which they can only do with other sisters.
They can understand, yeah.
And maybe custodians, I'm sure. I'm sure they understand it for tactical purposes. But they are literally an entire group that humanity hates. You know, like they don't know they exist, but like being around them is
uneasy and unsettling.
It's vile.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever want to be in the same room as them unless they have to be.
Yeah.
Like,
or nobody willingly will be in the same room. I'm sure they get a few unwilling people as they drag them into the black ships and whatnot. But yeah,
like they sacrifice their words and their entire lives for like a race of people that would gladly be as far away from them as they can. And so because of that, they actually apparently have an extremely strong bond between the sisters.
Oh, they'd have to. Oh, yeah, they would have to, because they're the only ones that understand each other and actually don't get sick being next to each other. So that makes perfect sense, yeah.
So being around each other is very, very important for them. It's very much a like they have a very strong bond between them. They're very good friends. You know, they obviously have their oaths and importance, but the strength of sisterhood is about as strong as Space Marine to Space Marine, brother to brother kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, then you take that, and then, you know, they fuck, whatever, I don't give a shit. You know, make your fan art, I don't give whatever.
Sure. If I was gonna say, so their blankness is a mutation, right?
Correct.
If a Sister of Silence was ever to like procreate and have a kid, would that mutation pass on to the kid? Or is that not something that can genetically pass down?
I think you're getting a little too deep, and GW probably doesn't even know that themselves.
Okay. Just checking.
Like, there's not... I've got, like, maybe 5 minutes or less for this episode, because there's not a lot. Okay. I mean, you might not like them that much, because they fought alongside the Space Wolves in the Burning of Prospero. Because you know,
they're so cool. Why did you have to tell me that?
Because if they're gonna fight the psyker army, they're gonna send the anti-psykers.
Oh, that's I hadn't really thought about that, but that's true. Who else would you send to go fight big bad psykers than a bunch of fucking blanks? That's fair.
You know, unironically, Sisters of Silence would make a very good lesbian love story. I could see that being well written if done tastefully.
Oh, absolutely. I would not mind a book that centered around a bunch of Sisters of Silence that were romantically linked in a tasteful way, as they sort of did all this crazy fuckery that I'm sure that they have to do. Yeah,
and then they start hitting to the pillow fights. And then it's like they start giggling, and it's like, and then you draw them with dicks. You know, the whole night. Now draw her getting an education. DK, draw her getting an education.
Buddy, this is an anime, dude. This is an anime. That would happen. I could see that happening in some freaky anime, but not in 40K, but not in a 40K. But come on.
Now draw her telling me it's gonna be okay.
Shy actually has some. See, that's the kind of armor that makes no fucking sense to anybody, right?
For that information,
that's the armor.
For your information, that is a gender bent custodian. Notice the Guardian Spear weapon. Actually, how dare you? I don't know why they didn't just draw a lewd Sister of Silence. It's literally the same thing. What are they doing?
I love that you actually the picture that Shy sent, and
yeah.
Yeah, well done. Okay, now draw her being successful and happy and realizing all her goals and dreams.
All right, draw her leading a good life.
Yeah. I would not mind a Sister of Silence books that would like I mean, even if it wasn't like a romance thing, like one that just further expanded on Sisters of Silence and blanks, because it sounds like there's not a ton of information on them. So just getting a book that told us more about them and like their strife and like literally from their perspective and their like inner turmoil because they can't speak, they took a vow, so that'd be really cool. I'd be down for any book on them. Yeah.
There was the book, the one I mentioned earlier, the Valerian and Alea one, the dual group. But like, yeah, they certainly need more on them. They're an interesting organization. They have kind of a tragic, backstory, I guess. They have a tragic use to willingly put their life away for a race of people who can't stand them. You know, it's you could we're making lesbian jokes here. That's obviously just mainly jokes. Granted, they could do a very good story about that, but
they could. It could be a tasteful story
It reminds me a lot of like people who grew up like two girls growing up in a nunnery kind of thing, and then it ends up becoming that because that's the thing with kids. You know, you force them into a box. You don't let them be free, and then next thing you know, they got vor fetishes. Look what you've done. Like what you
Well,
did.
the thing is, you conceal them in a box for so long that eventually they're gonna get out of the box, and then, you know.
They're gonna wonder what the fuck's outside the box. Wait, Mike Brooks?
Shai said the Sisters of Silence are so anti-warp they can be used to calm a warp storm?
Yeah, if you bring enough of them.
Holy shit. That's kind of a big deal, isn't it?
All right, internet, I need a meme from you. I want Warp Storm, our local Warp Storm maker, Erebus. I want like five or six Sisters of Silence. Just like Erebus is like on the ground in the fetal position. They're just like fucking kicking him. It's like you fucking ass, like calming the Warp Storm. Like, you know what? What's that one JoJo meme where the guy drinks wine, then he runs in and starts kicking him as well?
Oh yes. I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
Like, beating it, or that other meme where it's like a guy, he's like a square, and then these two really buff guys start laughing and they start like beating him up while laughing.
Definitely. Any meme that involves Erebus getting the shit kicked out of him, sign me up. Sign my ass up.
Ah, Shai's got a good one. There we go. That's a good fucking meme right there.
Yes, and that's perfect. The top one, Sisters of Silence. Bottom one with his lunch all over the floor and crying like a bitch, Erebus. Hell yeah.
Remove the lunch, make it like a whole bunch of like the Emperor is a real god books and stuff.
The religion of the god emperor.
There's just a whole bunch of like crosses and stuff.
Bunch of heretical shit. Yeah, sure.
Anyway, Sisters of Silence. It's not a long episode because there's not a lot about them, but I run them when I play Custodians. I want them to have more lore. I would love a character. I would love maybe like, I know they have some, I think you could actually get the black ship vehicles and some things like that in 30K, but you can't use them now, which is unfortunate. But they're pretty neat. I think there's a lot of good potential to write about them and stories and all that, but oh well, it is what it is. Anywho, is there anything you want to add, DK, before we go?
Nope. Sisters are metal as fuck. I like them. They look really cool. Their armor's really dope, and yeah, I want to know what happens when one dies. I want to know where it goes. I want to know where its soul goes. Chat, tell me where you think what Chaos God would enjoy a Sister of Silence's soul, air quotes, the most.
My name has been Bricky. Thanks for watching. We're gonna find out where Bricky goes when the podcast ends, and it's to the bar. Wow, really? You're going right to it's not even noon, man. The joke is I have to drink. I'm not going to the actual bar. Oh, well, still, it's like it's not even noon yet. You're gonna go drink. What are you gonna go drink? What would you drink at this hour? Are you gonna make a screwdriver? You're gonna make a corkscrew or whatever? What? I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go to bed instead. That's a much better answer. That's a much healthier answer. The only thing that I want to be silent is you, DK. Oh, I'm sorry, that was mean. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.